I'm so thrilled to welcome Nancy Kajo to the podcast. She's a sophomore at Seton Hall University, where she's pursuing a double major in political science and Catholic studies. Alongside her academic achievements, she's the creator of a new podcast, Zeri Shqiptare, which aims to connect and celebrate the Albanian diaspora through engaging and informative content. Recently, she was invited to speak at the Mission of Albania's Noli conference at the United Nations headquarters, a remarkable honor that highlights her commitment to promoting Albanian culture and heritage. Additionally, she spent the summer studying abroad in Rome, further enriching her global perspective. So I'm so excited to dive into her experiences, discuss her podcast, and explore her journey balancing both academic and cultural advocacy. So thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Awesome. So just starting off, can you kind of like share a bit of your journey and your Albanian background and what led you to Seton Hall University and your decision to double major in political science and Catholic studies? Because like one major is a lot for most people.
Yeah, of course. So I'm a second-year student at Seton Hall University. I always had like an vision to be in the career of law somehow. I just didn't know what exactly until like about like going into my first year of college and like going further. I'll be talking about that more, but
Yeah.
my dream is to become an immigration lawyer specifically. And just like watching the process of my parents and my other family members going through becoming an American citizen. I would love to help other Albanians and other people in need. So that's definitely my goal. As far as double majoring in Catholic studies, Seton Hall has great programs for that, and I would like to have a diverse application for when I go to law school. And I think it's really helped my reading and writing skills for that. So hopefully, crossing my fingers, I'll be doing good on the LSAT.
Oh, you will.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
are you in the Juris Doctorate program right now?
So
how is that whole like process?
So basically it's an accelerated program. Instead of doing 7 years, a traditional 7 years of 4-year bachelor, 3-year law school, I can double up on like some classes and requirements. And my 4th year of undergrad will technically be my first year of law school. Okay. So I'll be getting a year off, which is really nice.
Oh, very, very nice. That year off will definitely help you
Yeah.
recharge before you get ready to hit the books.
Yeah.
No sleep.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be difficult, but.
Awesome. Do you have any like particular, so you started your sophomore year, it was like 2 weeks ago when school started, college?
Yeah.
Okay. So do you have any particular classes to enjoy right now?
Yeah, so I'm finally getting into classes like that are actually for like my degree, because I just had to take like the requirements that everyone has to take.
Yeah.
I'm taking some law classes. I'm taking a trends in privacy law, which is really interesting. We just talk about like the right to be like left alone, like what is privacy, like how could you sue someone if they invade your privacy?
Yeah.
So that's really cool to look at like other aspects of law, even though if I don't want to get into that type of law, it's still really cool to see other aspects if I ever want to do something else with it.
Yeah.
And yeah. I'm in the arts and sciences college, so I have to take like other classes. Like I'm taking intro to physics right now, and I know nothing
physics.
Yeah. So yeah.
I know. When I had to take that and like a bunch of other physics 1, physics 2, I mean, or even organic chem, I was like, how am I gonna apply this?
Yeah, I don't know how you do it. I really don't.
And then you also, so I'm so excited when I heard that you were starting your own podcast, Zeri Shqiptare. I just want to let you kind of talk a little bit about that, your inspiration for that, and kind of any guests you may have lined up.
Definitely. So obviously I have like my student organization at Seton Hall that I started, but I'm not always gonna be there,
Yeah,
I want something more long term to kind of work on, and I really just love the concept of it. I'm going to be interviewing like people in various career fields, Albanian Americans that have successful stories. There's so many of us that are doing such amazing things, and I don't think it's highlighted enough. So that's something I'm really excited about. As far as guests, I'm not gonna announce anything yet.
Okay.
It's too soon.
Okay.
But yeah, we're gonna be filming really soon. I just invested in all of my equipment, so
Okay,
I'm
awesome.
excited about that.
Yes. No, I started EaglePod because, I also want to offer a platform for others, showcase their achievements and highlight all the incredible things the Albanian community is doing, in both the United States and all over the world. So it's so inspiring to see how your podcast will also aim to, highlight these contributions from a college student's perspective. And then even after that, it's something that is yours. And so personally, I truly believe in the power of collaboration and just mutual support, and especially in our shared mission to uplift and celebrate our community. So if you ever need any advice or guidance or anything, I am more than happy to help or share any insights that I can hopefully offer. So I think just working together and supporting each other is so essential because we all have so many things that we're all passionate about. So I'm really excited to see how your project evolves.
Thank you. That's why I love our community. I feel Albanians are, not to be biased or anything, but I feel like we are the most helpful people when it comes to our people.
Yes.
We'll never say no to someone, and that's what I really love about us. So
awesome. And so you were recently invited to speak at the Mission of Albanians Fan Noli conference, big accomplishment. For those of you that may not be familiar, could you kind of introduce Fan Noli and his significance and share the experience you had at speaking?
So I do have a little bit of an article going on for our Seton Hall website. As someone, not just representing, the Albanian community at the United Nations, I also represented Seton Hall, which is a big deal for me and my peers to be at the United Nations headquarters in New York. It was specifically in regards to the 100th anniversary of Fan Noli's mission in the League of Nations in Geneva. It celebrated Albania's mission to the League of Nations and emphasized Fan Noli's multilateral contribution to the United Nations. If any viewers are not really familiar with him, he was a extremely prominent Albanian scholar. He excelled in various professional fields such as literature, politics, diplomacy, religious leadership. He was actually the founder of the Albanian Orthodox Church in America. He played a significant role in the early 20th century in political and cultural development of Albania. He is a very, very prominent figure for us Albanians. And so that was just kind of like there was a 50th one. I don't really recall where that was held, but this was the 100th one, the 100th anniversary. It was held at the UN headquarters. And I was just able to speak on the importance of remembering how great this man was for our people, and it was an insane experience. Like, I don't know, it felt like I was in a movie the whole time. I never thought that I would be inside a conference room at the United Nations. But I was surrounded by many scholars, writers, other government officials such as Ervin Bushati. He was there able to speak. He's the Albanian ambassador to the United States of America. So it was really cool to talk to him. I know you're familiar with Faton Limani. He was also there. He was also there. He was able to speak. So it was so amazing to be around these significant people. And as Albanians, it's a very big deal for us to be there.
Oh yes, for sure. And congrats to you on getting up there. That is a big accomplishment. So here's your fun fact of the day. Fan Noli, one of Albania's most respected figures, wasn't just a writer, poet, and politician. He played a huge role in shaping Albania's political and cultural landscape. After World War I, he led the charge for Albania's reunification and helped secure the country's membership in the League of Nations. Noli was also known for his fierce opposition to corruption. which led him to lead the 1924 June Revolution, briefly serving as prime minister before being overthrown by Ahmet Zogo. After his exile to the USA, he shifted focus to academia, religious leadership, and writing. His lasting impact? Promoting the Albanian language, culture, and national identity through his translations of literary masterpieces and his efforts for national unity. And now, back to our guest speaker. A couple of months ago, actually, you also had the opportunity to speak at Vatra and promote Dr. Anis Mirzaku's book, The History of Jesuits in Albania. For those of you that don't know, Vatra is an organization that's founded in 1912 with the mission of promoting and preserving Albanian heritage and culture. So can you kind of talk about that?
Yeah, of course. So Dr. Inez Mirzaku is actually my club advisor at Seton Hall. Okay. She's amazing. She has so many books published regarding religious aspects of Albania that many people might not be aware of, such as the history of Jesuits, Mother Teresa, etc. And she was able to bring me along with her to present her book, as well as I was able to speak on behalf of Albanian students on the importance of student organizations around the country that promote the Albanian culture, and how important it is to stay close to your roots. And Vatra has their own newspaper. It's called Gazeta Dieli. It's actually the oldest printed Albanian newspaper ever. And my speech was actually being able to publish in the newspaper. So that was also really, really cool.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. It's forever in the oldest Albanian newspaper. Yes. That's really cool. I'm going to put a link to that down below. Yes. But which did you have more nerves? During which speech?
Well, at Vatra, my speech was in Albanian. So that, I think I speak good, but you still have that American accent, so it's never gonna go away. I was scared that there was so many writers there, scholars, all Albanian. They speak obviously fluently and perfectly.
You're please don't mess this up.
And I was freaking out. I couldn't eat the day before. It was so bad.
Yeah.
And then once I got over it, I was fine. And then at the UN, I didn't personally know anyone there. So I was if I mess up, my speech was in English. If I mess up, it's not that big of a deal. I don't know anyone here.
Yeah.
So I had much less nerves there for some reason. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that would have been the opposset for me.
Yeah, I know.
When I know people, I feel like I can speak much better and just go with the flow. When I'm I'm I don't know who these people are or what they're gonna say about me.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's less intimidating if I don't know someone, because if I never see them again, I don't know.
Oh, that's I kind of see your perspective too on that. And then this summer you had the opportunity to study in Rome. Pretty cool experience. Not a lot of people get to do that. What motivated you to choose Rome as your study abroad destination?
Yeah, Rome, and Italy in general, will hold a special place in my heart. After I was there for 3 weeks, I took a class last spring, the spring semester that just passed, on the history of Rome, and everything that we learned in that class we kind of brought to life there. And we had a bunch of free time to explore, and it was just so amazing to see everything. I was actually able to find Jared Castriot Skanderbeg's statue at the Piazza Albania in Rome. I was I'm not leaving this place without going to see it. So that was really cool to see. Any parts of Albanian history in other countries is just great to see.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was really cool, and it's definitely an experience I'll never forget. I highly recommend to anyone, even if it's for a few weeks, a month, a semester, I feel you should definitely get some sort of study abroad program in your college experience.
For sure. When I think of Rome, when I think of study abroad in Rome, I think of Lizzie McGuire.
Yes.
Hey now.
Yeah. Yeah. Every time I pass through the Trevi Fountain, that's all I could think about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Did you encounter any challenges studying abroad?
So The language barrier, I didn't think it was gonna be bad. I thought because like it's very touristy,
Yeah.
so like there's gonna be a lot of like English speakers or like Albanians. I didn't run into any Albanians actually.
Okay.
Um, and the language barrier was kind of hard, especially because we were like the university we stayed at, we stayed on a campus,
Mm-hmm.
and it was more like not in the touristy parts.
Okay.
So like going to like grocery shopping, like we had to like Google Translate, like, oh, what's this? Like, and we would like show the workers where
Thank God for Google Translate.
yeah, I don't. It was like so embarrassing though. Like we looked like such tourists.
Do you have any like key travel tips for students who are potentially going to do a study abroad experience?
Yeah. I feel like the biggest thing is that people are like nervous. Like a lot of people have never been out of the country before, and it's definitely a whole different world.
Hmm.
Um, but I would just be calm about it, and I went there with like no friends. There were 60 of us, like 60 students on the trip. I didn't know a single person, and then as soon as we landed, like all of us could just kind of formed our own groups, just like it was
Automatically.
really cool to see that. And I think a lot of people don't go on study abroad trips because they don't know anyone or like
Yeah.
are scared to be alone.
Yeah.
But I don't think that should be the case. I think you should like explore stuff like on your own and find your own paths, and yeah.
What are your long-term career goals? You said you want to be an immigration lawyer. So what are you thinking just like long-term with that? If you
Yeah.
have an idea, if you don't, I know you're still a sophomore,
Yeah.
so even if you're not sure.
Yeah, so I mean, if all goes well, like in this
Uh-huh.
program I'm in, I'm supposed to be taking the LSAT next September. So
Okay.
that's kind of scary to think about.
Yeah.
It's going by so fast. Like I
Yeah.
don't even know how my first year is over.
Mhm.
So once I take the LSAT, I'm planning and hoping on to get accepted to Seton Hall Law.
Okay.
Uh, it's a great law school in New Jersey. Um, and then afterwards, take the bar exam, which is
Yeah.
even more stressful.
Yeah.
And then I can eventually like practice my own law. Um, Obviously I wanted to do immigration law. That's my dream.
Yeah.
Um, and then hopefully one day I can own my own law firm and not have to work for
Yeah.
somebody else. I think
Yeah.
that's everyone's dream to
Yes.
not have to
Yes,
work
it
for
is.
someone else.
And lastly, what advice would you give to students who are considering a similar path?
Definitely like my phone right now is filled with like TikToks about like law school and how like it's so stressful and like don't do it, like don't do
Yeah.
it, but
Yeah.
don't listen to anyone that's telling you that it's hard or difficult or
Yeah.
trying to like push your dreams aside. If you put your mind to it, you can do anything you want.
Yeah.
And I just encourage not just Albanians,
Mm.
because I would also want to say to Albanian listeners to be proud of where they come from
For sure.
and continuously strive for self-improvement, and to show who we really are as people. We are really self-driven, and yeah.
Awesome. I agree with that. And you mentioned a lot of people say, oh, it's hard, it's stressful, all that stuff. I mean, anything, it's going to be worth pursuing. Anything that you do is going to have its negatives. It's going to come with negatives and positives, and you're going to go through it at times. So
I
I
mean,
just feel like
you for example, you're in medical school, right? Or you finished
applying this year.
applying.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I'm sure
Yeah.
people are telling you like, oh, like good luck, like in that way,
Yeah.
you
All
know?
that stuff. Well, yeah. And I have my master's in health administration too. So I've had people tell me, like, you're going through so much schooling and all that stuff. But I
Yeah,
mean, if it's like a dream of yours
exactly.
and you're acting on it, you're making all you can really do is make sure you put 100% of your effort in. And then at the end of the day, whatever happens, happens. But like, don't sell yourself short. Don't pursue something just because you hear other people. And you might be different from other people.
Yeah.
Like other people may not have good time management skills. They might not have a lot of other boxes checked, whereas you might just have it all together. You might be like, Going to law school is the best thing that ever happened to me. I don't know what people are talking about."
Yeah, I mean, like
So,
looking at our parents, for example, I think
yeah.
we all Albanian like first gen students, we all share the same story.
Yeah.
Our parents came here for a reason, and it was for us to do good things
Mhm.
and things that they weren't able to do. So I think it's just important for us to pursue our dreams.
All right, and now to our rapid fire questions.
Oh,
All right. Since you're deeply involved in both Albanian and American cultures, what is one Albanian tradition or dish that you always crave when you're away from home?
Burek, of course.
A burek.
Yes.
All right. Pasta or pizza?
Ooh, pasta.
Right. If you could have dinner with any historical figure from Albanian history, who would it be and why?
Honestly, probably I feel like everyone's answer would either be like Skanderbeu because
Yeah.
he's like everyone around the
Prominent
world
figure.
knows him,
Yeah.
and he's probably our biggest prominent figure. So yeah, definitely him.
All right. Fall or winter?
Fall.
Favorite thing to do in the fall?
Probably go apple picking with my family in upstate New York. It's always
Oh,
fun.
nice. Do they have good apples up there?
Yeah,
I
it's like
heard Vermont is like the apple picking place.
yeah, it's so beautiful there too. It's like the leaves, like how they change colors in
Yeah.
Vermont. It's like so much different than here. It's like so pretty.
Do you wear Uggs at all? I just
Yeah,
look forward
like
to wearing
yeah,
my Uggs during the fall and like the
yeah.
whole
It's so much easier to like you just like slip them on. I don't have to wear like
exactly.
yeah,
I just love the season. If you
yeah.
had to describe your college experience in one word so far, what would it be?
I guess challenging, but I guess that could be a good thing too.
Yeah, it is a good thing.
Yeah.
Challenging, I believe. Okay. Favorite color?
Blue.
Kong Popolora or modern Albanian music?
Honestly, because I'm from my mom is from Vlorë and
Okay.
my dad's from Berat, so like the South is like very big on like Kung Popolore. Can never go wrong with some Maya.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna go with Kung Popolore.
Okay. Hasuda or baklava?
Oh, baklava.
Okay. Last song you listened to?
Let me pull up my Spotify. I actually was just listening to oh Lei by Don Johnny and Dorata Dora.
All right. Well, that brings us to the end of the episode. Well, thank you so much, Nancy, for joining me today and sharing your incredible experiences and insight. It's been inspiring to hear your journey and hearing about you starting your own podcast and your dedication to both your studies and the Albanian community.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure.
Thank you. And to all the EaglePod listeners, I hope you enjoyed this conversation and found it as inspiring as I did. Thank you for tuning in, and I look forward to bringing you more exciting episodes in the future. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.